everyone. Sean Ellis here from Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal, and welcome to Season 3. We have a great guest tonight. His name is Mr. Greg Koss. I also have a special co-host tonight, which I'll introduce here in just a few minutes as well. But I'd like to give a big shout out to American Demon Comics and Austin Light. If you haven't seen his stuff, let's see here if I can bring it up here real quick. This is his comic he puts out, and he does an amazing job. He's got 3 issues out now, and I happened to get all 3 copies, and they are signed by the author himself, Mr. Austin Light. I'd like to actually thank him for sending those out to me. And great read. Check them out. American Demon Comics with Austin Light. So let me introduce tonight my co-host from the show Serene Divine, and also author of The Bug's Life Before the Mafia, Miss Pam Harris.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Busy, of course.
So what's new?
What's new? Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
No,
just life.
You're here tonight with me with the season opener.
I know. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time. I think some people actually ask. Some people still ask about you and where you've disappeared to, because I used to co-host.
Oh, really?
I used to co-host with you on your show.
Yeah.
We got
it's just something that. Hey, Susan Victoria. Hi.
Miss Susan Victoria's in the house. Thanks for stopping in. But we have a great guest tonight. Let's bring in our guest tonight and have a little chat with Mr. Greg Koss. Hello, Greg.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Greg.
Hi, Pam, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
How have you been, Greg?
Awesome.
The last time I actually seen you, and the first time I actually seen you, was at Broadhead Manor at the event, the Paranormal Rock Down.
I bet that was a blast.
I know Susan.
Yep.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yes, she is. She's a remarkable lady, too.
Yeah, she is.
That means it's 2 remarkable ladies are here already.
Yep, they're pretty unique, and I'm friends with both of them. So what did you think about Broadhead Manor when we were all up there at the Rock Down?
I thought it was the best one yet.
Really?
I had been to all the other ones, the ones that were done by Shadow Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Those, and there were like in between, there were like 1 or 2 that I didn't make, basically because I was either fishing or doing something else somewhere else. But
yeah,
it's Bill Walters is a remarkable individual. He's the man, the myth, the legend, as far as locations are concerned. I don't think there's anybody in the United States that can match him.
Oh, he's unbelievable, and he's great to work with, and I mean, he worked with you and everything else. And me and him's actually done a couple little collabs. Like I said, we were talking before the show. He made a PVC doorway for me, and we actually put some fog through it, and we actually did an experiment with that. I got some pretty cool results from that. So,
yeah, I would love to go to Broadhead one of these days. I might get there.
It's a place that if they know you or they feel you and they can sense that you're good, they're going to come to you.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of things from there, and that's one place I really want to I wasn't able to go do it.
The mix with the people or the kids that used to go to school there, and then the teachers,
Oh
the
yeah.
whole level of people sort of make it. Hey, Kimmy.
Hey,
Hi,
Kimmy.
Kimmy.
Thanks
How
for
you doing,
stopping
girl?
in.
There's a lot of people that are that are no longer with us. That are there
Yeah.
that really enjoy the place.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting with all the elements there. I mean, it's got the elementals, it's got the kids, it's got other stuff going there. It's very interesting, and especially, the first time I ever stepped foot on that ground, I had to take a second and adjust because there is a lot of energy on that ground.
Yeah, I remember seeing that first video, and I mean, that's my bucket list. I mean, I have a few places, but Broadhead is on it.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Beautiful
So,
location.
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, question, Greg, since I know who you are, Pam knows who you are, and I'm sure some of the others, but maybe some of my fans don't know who you are. Can you explain a little bit of your background?
I started out when I was a little kid, and I started out at Gettysburg. My actual investigation end of it, besides the things that happen as you grow up, all stemmed from me going to a little they were having a little paracon for a real little group in town here, and I just went to see it.
Yeah.
And I met a friend that is still a friend of mine from the south side of Chicago,
Wow.
by the name of Chuck Williams, and he works with Dale Kaczmarek.
Oh.
And so, and that's permanent. What I was trying to say is that he asked me, and then Dale asked me to become a member there. And I was a member of their group for probably 6 or 7 years, maybe 8. And then we all sort of left.
Yeah.
And I was already working with shadow hunters up here. And the reason I was working with them was, and he didn't want me to do 2, but it was like I was trying to help him out up here.
Yeah.
And I ended up staying here for like 6 years, including the time after I left Dale's group.
Wow.
And then from there, I became a member of the Texas Wraith Hunters out of down in San Antonio. That's Anthony's group, Anthony Savalas.
Uh-huh.
And that was Reggie and I when we went ahead and we got involved with them.
Yeah.
And we're still with them. And it's something. It's another one of those areas in the United States that I really wanted to get my teeth into a little bit, and just experience a lot of these circumstances.
Yeah.
That involve the paranormal and that, and then just the other ones that I always did by myself up in northern Wisconsin. Yeah, I had a resort, and I had an old, they call it the Waldheim, and it was the original resort before they had all these cabins and everything on, and a restaurant. And I would go there at night and just go in, and I would talk to the man who the resort was named, or the lake was named after, which was Harry Starr.
Wow.
And did a lot of I wouldn't say it was real heavy duty research, it was talking to people and working on that end of it, and then using whatever evidence I had to try to figure out how it all went about that he became the spirit there.
Oh,
Not besides the fact that he built it, it was also because of the fact he died. He
yeah.
died there. He was like 32 years old,
Oh wow.
and he had built a mill because that's when the U.S. had advanced their logging industry up into northern Wisconsin.
Mhm.
So he was there in the beginning. So he built a mill,
Wow.
and so they would actually mill a lot of the lumber that they were tearing down through his mill. And he happened to meet his demise on his wedding day in the
Wow.
morning in the mill. He was called to the mill on his wedding day, early. Went down to the mill and never came back to the full time.
You know
Uh,
what? I think I've heard you talk about that story before a while back on your show.
yeah,
Man, that,
he lost his head,
Yeah,
wow.
I think I've heard that.
And that was
I've
on his
and
wedding. That was on his wedding day.
heard day.
on his wedding day,
Yeah, that's crazy.
and I the some of the investigations that I do, a lot of the spirit box work and the Estes, and I also go ahead and use a couple of those machines that the words come up,
Oh, spirit
and
box.
and uh,
Or not the spirit box.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of that
It's
right
a
now. But
I'm it's a
Oh,
Alicia.
hi
Alicia,
Alicia.
Alicia
Anyway,
McFadden, Paranormal.
I was trying to ask him. You were only so old. How would something like that happen? It had to be a
Mhm.
horrible accident.
Yeah, most
And
definitely.
I had
Yeah.
it took me like 3 years before finally I started getting real good words that were
Uh-huh.
really associated with them. And finally, the word hernia came up, and I went ahead and I
Oh,
said he probably was crossing between logs, and she's a
that's
lovely lady
Alicia.
too.
Yeah,
She is. I really like her.
it's pretty
But
awesome.
he must have went to move too fast, and the pain hit him and stopped him dead in his tracks, and he just got killed.
I mean, isn't that? I mean, it's just the craziest way for things
We're
to
freezing up a little
happen.
bit.
You know, he
How are you?
he he uh, he would have been an amazing man.
No, I'm sure.
I go to his where he's buried supposedly because there's even a little bit on that because there's words that say that really he went home, which was I want to say Minnesota,
Hmm.
uh, and he had a brother. So I wanted to verify or make sure. So I've been talking to a lot of people up there, some of the older ones, and going through the records to see, for instance, if his brother was around there too,
Yeah.
because it was a tumultuous time, in
Oh,
the
yeah.
United States, and they had a lot of things going on. So you'd figure that, and then he was here, and then he was gone, but he's still there.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
still at the resort, and then now they tore it down. I,
So let me ask you a question. Um, what's different that you do in investigating now compared to what you did in the beginning?
I think it's more a process. In the
Yeah.
beginning, it was more of experience,
Hmm.
and
We're
the
having some
answer.
technical difficulties here. Hang on. Looks like everybody's starting to pop back in. We have computer gremlins tonight. Hang on. It's still going here.
You said that was going to happen.
It does. That's. I'm sitting here and I'm looking around, and all of a sudden it just like glitched. So the spirits must be wanting to play a little bit tonight for sure. But
hey,
you were finishing your story there.
Well, the horrible part about it is the fact that, the location in northern Wisconsin, you think of the big places in northern Wisconsin that have been destroyed by fire and everything else, and then you have this beautiful resort, and the owner that I knew really well finally sold it, and there was an agreement, and every move that my friend made up there was for historical preservation.
Mm-hmm.
And he had gone ahead and made a deal with this guy. They didn't have it in writing. He did not go ahead and start the historical preservation work on it. And he took this guy's word, and the guy came in and totally destroyed everything, including the old Waldheim, as it was called. And it was the Waldheim because, like I said, it was an old single building that had big field stones on the bottom up to about 5 feet. And it had these giant logs that went up another story.
Wow.
And it was absolutely gorgeous on the inside. It had I was telling Sean that it had a
spiral staircase.
A birch spiral staircase. And which is, you don't find too many birch ones. You can find a lot of other ones, but anyway, that part started with me on that in my drinking days. So I was there with my wife and my 3 young kids, and we were staying in a room. And normally we'd be camping up there because we camped a lot. And I was going down the hallway in the middle of the night to use the latrine, and as I got to the top of the staircase, I looked down and I could hear the piano playing, and I could see the piano from where I was at. There was a light from this shuffleboard court outside because everything was dark downstairs, so the light came through the window, so it sort of it highlighted it, and I could see the pedals going up and down. There were 2 pianos, one side by side, and they're 2 different colors, and the one that was there that I saw was the one that was the real piano. The other one was a player piano. So there's a gentleman from the Southtown Economist on the south side of Chicago. He was a reporter that wrote an article he wrote articles when he moved to Boulder Junction about all the things that happened up north that were spooky. And this happened to be one of them. And it took probably another 10 years for me to get the gumption up to go ahead and plus the sobriety part. Okay. I had to get sober. And I finally got to ask the owner who just bought the place about some of the things that went on. And, they said the guy who owned the resort, his name was Harry Starr. He was the guy, and they named the lake after him, so it was Star Lake. And Harry started the mill, and Harry was a great guy. Hey, Leslie. He was a great guy, and it shouldn't have happened the way it did, and he never had the documents completed.
Yeah.
The guy tore it all down, and the only piano that was left was the other one.
Oh.
The other piano, the real piano, was destroyed.
Wow.
And I just found that out not this year, but last year when we were up there.
Wow.
That's
And the guy,
that's just terrible that somebody would actually tear down that old building, that has a lot of old history to it. And
this is a multimillionaire who went ahead and bought all the property, and he wanted to tear down all the other cabins, but the owner said to him that please, if this is a historical landmark, and
Right.
and he was gonna finish processing the paperwork, but it was for sale for like 6 years, 7 years, and he couldn't sell it, and finally and that's what happens.
Yeah.
And so I've been using that time now. When I was up there this last, just a couple weeks, about 6 weeks ago, I was up there, and I was doing a little spirit box work, and he asking questions, and I can't get near the property, but I can ask for Harry.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was asking him if he was still around.
Oh.
And I was telling Sean that there were a couple of buildings that the owner had done things. He had moved these places from where they originally were to another site so they can become places that people can see, like an old schoolhouse. And there was the old house where these two ladies that we knew for 50 years. They had a bait business. They were the bait shop. My kids grew up with them.
Yeah.
And they died in their 80s, 90s. And so that bait shop's still there, and they plexiglass the front so you can't get in there, but you look in and see it. Just a lot of the other places. So, and I asked them.
And by the way, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
The machine that you were talking about is an Ovilus.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
You think I remember all those, but once you get so involved with doing Estes sessions, you can't remember you're from a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna holler at a couple people here. We got Miss Leslie Davison in the house. We've got
hey, Leslie.
Austin Light from American Demon Comics in here. And we got Tracy Lynn in here as well. And Miss Leslie Davison asked, where is this at we were talking about with
the location?
The location.
This is in the north woods of northern Wisconsin, northeast of Minocqua.
That's just terrible. Like I said, when somebody like that goes in there and wrecks a monumental, historical, or how you want to label it, that has a lot of history to it and tears that apart, that's just saddening.
I know most of the people that live there. Okay, I've known them because I've been up there for so long, and they're all good family people. And it was like they sort of are in the process of really shunning this guy.
Oh wow!
I mean, really, he's not getting anything from anybody.
Oh.
So, it's more or less the fact that what goes around comes around, I guess. It's like karma.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Karma.
It will actually happen.
Karma.
A lot of people don't believe it.
I have seen many cases that karma will come back and bite you in the ass. I mean, it may take a little bit, but it does come, and it does take a good chunk of your flesh.
I never met the man that, he has the no trespassing signs up, and there used to be a road that you would drive into, and it was where the restaurant was. And the next year when we got up there, after this happened right after we left. So I had to wait till the next year, and when we got there, it was like the road was totally gone. They had it all filled in with dirt, and it's, so it's a shame. It's a friggin' shame.
Yeah.
But he says he's still there. He is still there.
Probably so. Probably
I
so.
mean,
I would think so.
I think he's at one of those two buildings. I haven't verified that yet with him, but I'm going to verify it with the old owner who runs. He basically, what he does now is he works the schoolhouse for people that come up. But you know, that was a big part of the community.
Right.
The whole resort, and it's a shame.
Have you ever thought about buying a property for paranormal reasons?
You know what? I don't have that kind of money.
I don't either.
Neither do I.
And you know, if I would have been able to talk the old owner into just that and trying to make some sort of deal, I'd probably be living by myself now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't want that to happen. That's definitely for sure.
Well, you know, I'm at that stage now where I'm that position where it's really hard to try to live by yourself.
Yeah.
We were married for a whole bunch of years.
Yeah. So many years that you can't remember.
Yeah, you know,
that's where I'm at.
You know, and it's, hey, Russ, he's a good guy. Russell is.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping in, everybody.
Well, definitely congratulations for as long as you've been married, and you know, that's a good thing nowadays.
Absolutely.
Because people nowadays just throw relationships away, and it says a lot about your character. You know, being with somebody that long.
Absolutely.
Forming that type of relationship that's unbreakable. That's awesome. I got to give you some.
Well, there's still times when you want to put on your helmet and pick up your hockey stick and go at it.
I think men and women do that once in a while just to see if they can get each other's goat once in a while. But
well, you know, it's like when every time I see Robin Terry, you know, that's the big thing is because I played a lot of hockey. I grew up playing hockey, and he played hockey too. So we talk hockey. So every time you go ahead and you get in a circumstance like that where you know, it's like, you know, you just want to go ahead and you want to just sort of at somebody's foot or something, you know, you just want to start to go ahead and get his craw, to see what'll happen.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I grew up going to hockey games, and it's the best place to see a fight. I mean, the street does not compare.
So who are you a fan of?
Oh, well, actually, where I'm actually from is Fort Wayne, Indiana, and that's where the Fort Wayne Comets are.
Okay. They had good hockey teams?
Hey, Pam.
Yeah, they still do. They still do.
I think I got you beat, though, on the fight place.
Well, you probably do, but.
Because me being a former cage fighter, I've seen some pretty good cage fighters.
Yeah.
You'd be knocking a few blocks off, is what Sean's saying.
But them hockey sticks be flying.
Oh.
No,
absolutely. Never failed every game. Every game.
The whole hockey story, I wouldn't even start because it takes way too long.
Jen Davis is in the house here.
Hi, Jenny.
Beautiful Jenny.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet her too. She's pretty cool.
Was she with us in Broadhead?
At the Broadhead.
Yeah, I've seen her up there that night.
Yeah.
I know you do Estes method a lot. Can you tell us an interesting story that you've ever done with an Estes method? What's one of the most interesting things that you've come across doing an Estes?
Doubles. A double Estes. It was done at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. It was one of the first ones they were doing. It was two of the girls. I know Ronnie D.
Mm-hmm.
and Ronnie D is the guy that owns it. So we were doing an investigation, and we were with Kazmarik's group, Dale's, and we were getting towards the end of it, and there was a new person in the group, and one of these two girls said, "Hey, we got this opportunity. Why don't you and her do a double, and I'll ask questions, and we'll see how it goes." Jason Snyder from down in Southern Illinois, he taped it, so he's got it.
Wow.
And it was supposedly, what they said was, it was remarkable.
I don't think a double.
Pardon me?
I don't think I've ever seen a double done.
I haven't either. That would sound very interesting.
Wednesday nights, I have my show.
I mean, other than your show, but on an investigation, I've never seen a double done.
It's best. I think it's best to do it there, except for the fact that the standards are changed when you go ahead and you do it the way we do it, because of the amount of distance between the people that are actually doing the sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So, my groups of people that I have on come from pretty much all over.
Yeah.
And, that to me is sort of, I believe it's a magnification of spirit.
Yeah.
Because you have so many spirit in between that can pick up on it and be there, so there's good. We've had some really remarkable rambling back and forth that he just beating each other with words, and then there's nothing, but it's a lot of fun. I'm very, very glad that I did it, and I continue to do it, and we always try to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And we've done singles, like a single double.
Mm-hmm.
But single doubles is exactly what the show is, basically.
Exactly.
And I have a couple other ideas that we're talking about doing, and then we have tapes that we're still in the process of working on I think that show has been on now like 3. This has been 4 years.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4.
Yeah, it probably has.
I'm not good with time.
I'm not either. All I know is it goes by too fast.
It definitely does. It definitely flies.
It's not me. It's the people that I work with, the people that are they're the people that make it happen.
Have you ever connected with someone spiritually and just meeting them and thinking, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah.
I've done it. I've done it up north. I've done it in Florida. I've done it in quite a few places. I haven't done it on the West Coast yet. Up in Seattle, I want to really do some, but I don't want to get everybody scared.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing when that happens is how that energy connects with the two people, and it's just you're in sync with everything. So that's what I find that's very interesting about that when it happens.
And I don't think that happens to too many people.
Hey, Bill.
When I was working with Scotty.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he's my mentor, and Scotty and I we're going down I'm on my path.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out why I wasn't really getting through with my guides. And this can happen to anybody. This happens quite a bit. And you really have to be spiritual in order to gain ground.
I agree.
And I was at the point where we were looking at, I was at Gettysburg, and I was doing a straight EVP session. I happened to be on the triangular field below Devil's Den, halfway down. And this is the story that I've told quite a few times. The point of the story was the fact that I'm 100 yards away from these people. There are 7 people from our group that are on top of the hill. I'm doing my own work down there, and they are arguing about what the spirit box is saying.
Wow.
And it got to the point where it drove me to the point where it wasn't even 3 weeks later, I started picking up on the Stanley, because I had already been to the Stanley a couple times, and I knew the guys, Connor Randall and Carl Pfeiffer, that were both instrumental in the development of that. Now, Tim Woolworth will tell you, no, that's the double blind ghost box. He'll just flat out tell you that, and he ain't going to take anything else but that. But it was like they developed it. They did a series of videos on YouTube on the Estes, and I watched all of them, and I started getting more pumped. And now I'm getting on this. I don't know why, but right now I'm getting goosebumps. I watched a roundtable show on
Hello,
here
Kelly.
Kelly, and I watched this show. We had been experiencing a ticking above the white noise on the headphones on what you're getting out of your spirit box. So you'd hear random words, but all of a sudden you know where the white noise is after you do it for quite some time. And then above the white noise was this ticking. And at first I thought, no, it's not. It wasn't. What am I trying to? Military. What are the? I can't think of the word.
Like an SOS.
Morse code.
Morse code. It wasn't Morse code. And I asked them the question on the show, and they sat there and they looked at each other, and one of them was Austin Maynard, and they looked at each other, and Tony Rathman, I think, was the other guy, and they just sort of got this smile on their face, and they went, "Isn't that what Frank Sumption was all about?"
Yeah, J.W. Prather.
And I went, "That's the answer."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Austin's awesome. I love Austin. Yeah.
And
there's so many great people out there.
And it was like I just took it and ran. Then it was like I gotta keep on doing this, because I'm not going to put up with anybody else's crap.
Right. And it's hard when people that have never done the Estes or have put headphones on to try to listen to the spirit box.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to describe to them. I haven't found a way how to separate it.
Right.
I can't describe what I want to tell them, because you have to be able to separate to be able to hear
Right.
You know,
Every little
and
frequency that's going through, you've got to be able to distinctly pull it
you
apart
got
because it does that thing with your brain when you're doing it that'll make you confused if you can't pull it apart, and it just sounds like garble.
After a
yeah, and
while,
I did that
after a
on my
while,
very first investigation, and I was like, yeah, and there's too many things going on. How do you separate
what
it?
did
You
I
know?
just
Yeah,
do?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
it was so crazy.
there it's like when you go ahead and you put it in those terms, you really wonder what goes on after you did so many of them because it's not actually what we hear,
Uh-huh.
it's the channeling end of it
Right.
that comes through,
Uh-huh.
and you get down to the end of the session and they'll
And
say, and you go, I have no idea.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, and you got to be thankful for it, and you've got to
Oh
just
yeah.
stay on and keep on going on with the work. There's more to it.
Yeah.
There's more coming up. I know that.
Right.
Right.
So I feel, and if I'm rambling, that's because I get excited when I start to talk about this stuff, because I still
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people that don't have a clue.
Don't
Oh, I
have a
definitely
clue.
agree. I
Exactly.
definitely agree.
Yeah, I do too. I
Me
mean,
and Pam had this conversation a few days ago. We were talking about some stuff, and you know, I don't think some people, like you said, totally understand what they're getting into and how to do it, and then they're doing other things to get attention instead of actually focusing on what's there.
right.
Well, I never been at the point of actually wanting attention. I would be more to say that I would want to have more of an ability to
Right.
share,
Exactly.
and like what we did at Broadhead when we were upstairs, because
Hmm.
I did that twice now, and I love the atmosphere of that room because it's smaller, and then
Hmm.
people in that room that are interested, and they're not sitting there waiting for somebody else to speak.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
That's one
Yeah.
thing that I base my stuff on is authenticity and actually legit stuff. I don't want it faked. I don't want it edited. I want you to be able to see, hear exactly what I'm hearing because, like I said, when you start tampering with things and it breaks away from what's actually out there because it's a distraction when teams like us are there to look for what's really there and to find out what's there.
Yeah, and a lot of people, so many are doing it for the wrong reasons. And they're not their heart isn't in it. They're not willing to, or their vision is not to research it, I guess is what I want to say. Because when you research it, that's where the real happening is. And so many people are not, they don't know any part about that. They just think, they're going to be famous, they're going to be on this show, but they don't do any of the research. And that's where their real knowledge comes from.
you
Right.
know, with the boxes too,
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of different people, and
Hmm.
now that I'm with the Staffords
Uh
and
huh.
Supernatural Link, and Katie to
Oh,
me
man.
is another one of these icons,
Yeah,
Hmm.
he
and
is. Yeah.
Austin, and I I can just make a phone call.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can have an answer, and
Yeah.
that's for Katie too. So if he's listening, he's got to pick up his phone more than he does.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now I'm in
Yeah.
trouble.
People like that are, and, and to top it all off, these are people that are willing to share and
Right.
teach you, You know what I'm saying? And they're just raw at it.
Right.
You know?
The difference between KD and a lot of the other guys that are all the big guys that have been doing all the experiments lately.
Yeah.
With Jay Prather in Austin and
Right.
KD is the mad scientist. He always was the mad scientist. So he's still doing things. It's way out there.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody else is here. So, I've been blessed in that respect. And I feel that, the Texas Wraith Hunters, when we got up, it was Reggie Randall and me. Mm-hmm. And Anthony took us and we did a lot of stuff out there in Texas. And it was like, there are things that happen out there too that were just, and I have these SD cards that I have SD cards that I haven't done anything with for like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Because I just don't have time to sit and review on that stuff. But these were the old mansions. I did have an EVP in the Alamo, and I was in the front room of the Alamo where all the women and children were kept. Yeah. And I asked if there were any of the officers from the Alamo were there, if any of the big boys, okay,
right.
Bowie and Travis, and I got 2 names. I got Crockett and I got Bowie, and I didn't get Travis. And Travis, he was the one that actually ran the show.
Huh. Oh. That's awesome.
But it was just, I started laughing when it came through like that, because you got all these people going through there. And then you hear this stuff, and it's like,
just to listen to Austin and all of them guys, I mean, it just gives you chills, and you're trying to figure out, how in the world do I get in these people's head, because their research has led them to where they're at.
I think one of the things, with Austin and what they're doing right now with the frequency things that I've been seeing the videos on that's been popping up, I think that's pretty awesome, because I've even had dreams with frequencies and spirit guides telling me, how to use different frequencies. And I think that would be awful interesting to sit there and listen to those guys and actually experiment with them and understand what they see as well.
They're
phenomenal. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it is great work. I wish I could have went last week, but I wasn't able to.
You had a chance to? Excuse me, I think it was the first or second one I was going to do it, and and then it just fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm kicking myself.
Things just didn't align for me. So,
but Leslie's
I talked to Austin. He's not far from me, so he's less than an hour. So,
yeah, it would definitely be interesting to go out there and do that experiment with them, because, like I said, I've had dreams.
The Ocalade Village is a great place to go to anyway, because there's so many different properties there. Actually, when me and Lori were there a few years ago, have you ever been to the Ocalade Village, Greg?
No, I haven't. I've been all around it.
I mean, there's a driveway, a gravel driveway, and it goes all the way back to the property. And just walking that, so many different things happen.
Hello, Len.
Just walking down that driveway, and here it is dark out, and it's not that dark, but before we ever got back to the village, somebody got scratched. We seen a apparition in the bushes. I mean, it was unreal. This is a place you've got to go to. You have got to go to it.
Well,
It's got to be on your bucket list.
if I was going there, I'd want to go ahead and hang right behind
And-
Resnick. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
because Res
right.
between and he's doing this journey type thing with Gwen Johnson.
I wondered what that was. I don't really know.
They're doing this sort of like
A sponsored journey.
a journey, and they're recording a lot of it. And
Yeah.
so they were on, and I was talking to her last night and him, and
Uh-huh.
it's Rez is a guy that to me fits right in with what I do.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could literally fall right in there, and I
Just
have no problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's too big to move anyway. So, but besides that, he's like a brother to me. And every time I bring him up, then he'll go ahead and say, "Why did I say that?"
Yeah, I've had Rez on my show and Gwen on the show before. So yeah, they're both very interesting people.
Yeah.
So we're at the top of the hour here, Greg. And there's a couple more questions I'm going to ask you because I catch your show once in a while. What's the deal with the painting behind you? The little one.
My owls?
Yeah, your owls.
They're there because they watch over me.
Because I always see that during your podcast, and
I feel very comfortable with them. If I took that down, I don't know if I could do a show.
Right.
I just find it very interesting the way it's painted because I mean I do art myself, and I always see that picture and then back there, and I was like, I'm wondering what the story is behind that.
It's a tapestry. I bought like 3 or 4 when I was getting set up. And I laid them all down on the floor, and I looked down and I went, this one.
Looks like some spirit owls. Hi, Steve. That's my brother.
Steve Workman. I used to work with a guy at the post office. His last name was Workman.
Really?
It's not a real common name.
Oh, it's more common than what you think.
Really?
Yeah. Me and Steve, my brother, published a book this year.
What's the name of it?
The Bug's Life Before the Mafia.
Okay, that's what was at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. The Bug's Life Before the Mafia.
Can you go ahead and just throw out a summary really fast?
Sure.
I'm jumping on Sean's toes here.
You're fine. Go for it, man.
So this is about our grandfather. He was a mafia hitman, went to prison for 23 years in New York for killing Dutch Schultz. So this story that we wrote is a story that's never been told because Charlie left his Indiana families, 2 families, to go to New York to be a mafia hitman. So no one has ever heard the story about the Indiana families, and that's what we have put out.
Wow, that
sounds
really interesting.
He changes his identity and has a new family in New York, and so now he has 3 families. So that's what we're doing, and we're currently working on a sequel. Yeah, he was a mafia hitman for Murder. Yeah, Murder Incorporated. There's been many books about him. A lot of people write about him. A lot of the mafia families that have written books talk about him. But this is a story they've never heard. Then no one knows. Yeah, You'll have to check it out on
I
Amazon.
will.
It's free on Kindle if you have Amazon Prime. So,
Yeah, are you going to have copies too?
yeah, I have copies.
So I can go ahead and just send you via PayPal, and
Well,
I get
you
it to
could, but
you
here's
autograph
the big thing is after Amazon gets so many reviews for your book, they actually push your book. So I really would rather have you order from Amazon so you can go back to Amazon and leave a review after you read it.
Okay, then I have to chase you to get you to sign it.
No, just mail it to me. I'll sign
Either
it.
that or I'll get it to her. I'll see her once.
Yeah, we have mailed so many, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah, go to Amazon and read the reviews. Like Steve said, if you read the reviews, that'll give you an idea of whether you want to read it or not, and I'm sure you will.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That at the Paracon, Bill Tapanovich was pushing his book,
Uh-huh.
and it's this one,
Yeah.
Out of the
Yeah.
Shadows.
Out of the
And I knew him
Hey,
on
Susan.
his first investigation,
Oh, really?
and he was up east of us here, and we got together with like 3 groups, and
Wow.
we did some things. And
Yeah.
he's really a great guy. I'm glad he wrote the book, but
Yeah.
it involves his first year in the paranormal and everything,
Wow.
how he picks up on
Mhm.
it, and, which was
Yeah.
really cool.
So the book actually is about our grandfather. He leaves when our dad is 6, and he's never seen or heard from again. So our dad spent his entire life looking for him. So our dad's been gone 27 years. So after our dad passed away, then I picked up and I started where he left off. And so that's where we're at.
Wow.
So I've been doing research for over 20 years myself. It's a really short read. Huh?
You do a lot of stuff like research and
I
missing
love
persons,
research. Yeah, I love research.
because I remember when we got together, we were all part of that thing that one night on trying to find that person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did that ever get resolved?
No, it's still nothing.
Yeah.
Did you ever tell Sean about?
Oh yeah, he knows about it.
I was involved with it.
Yeah, he's involved it too. It's I don't know how to describe it. The only way I can describe it is when someone has a wall, and that's what it's been. And I don't know if it's because I'm close to the family. I don't know, but it's hard for me to even read that family. I mean, this is like 10-foot thick blur walls that they have. And it's the same thing with the missing persons case. It's got that brick wall, and it's really hard to get into, and it really, really drains you.
Yeah.
Because you're just hitting your head against it. So it's not solved. It's still unsolved. And so I want to say what Steve said. Steve said, you know who Michael and Marty Perry are? They wrote the foreword for our book.
Okay.
And so I don't want to give it all away because I want you to read it.
Okay, that's no biggie.
Yeah, just be sure to leave a review and share it with everyone. And, just because it's about the mafia, you're my friend, you're going to be okay.
Did you ever go ahead and stop and say, I only have one question I'd want to ask my grandfather? That's your
No.
grandfather, right?
Yeah. No, I don't have any question for him. No, I do not.
What do you think, Sean?
I think it's really interesting on how that all come about.
Yeah.
And me and Pam were talking about it, when they were writing it and everything too. So it's interesting, definitely interesting on how it all come about and how she put it together and got all the stuff she needed for her and her brother. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, and my brother lives in California and I'm in Indiana, so we're 3,000 miles apart. So, um, it was a combination of talking on the phone 50 times a day for 50 hours at a time and writing, writing, edit, you know. Um, but I will say that my brother did not want to publish the book. And he thought that this was just maybe something we could print out for the family. Well, I wanted to publish it. He didn't want to. So what happened is Lee Triana Brown and Gwen um, asked about us being on a show. I was like, this is going to get him. So I asked Steve to be on the show. He said, sure. So he had no idea how many people were interested in this kind of story about the mafia. So Lee Triana Brown, she designed the cover. And I couldn't ask for anything better. We love it. And then she hooked us up with her publisher, who 2 days later was ready to publish it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's when my brother went, wow, people really are interested in it. And it has made him a wonderful writer. And I believe this is his passion now.
It's like with Lee Triana, it's like I've been playing this game of tag in the dark.
Uh,
And I keep her around, and I still haven't met her.
Yeah, I actually got to meet Lee Triana in May. I was down there, and I actually got to investigate in the house next door to him as well, and did a couple things there as well. And we went down to Haygood and seen the rock, and it was very interesting on some of the stuff. And we even got to do some of the things at the cabin. Did a small investigation there that night as well. So yeah,
I would love to meet everyone involved because our publisher is awesome. We love her to death. And Lee Triana could not have done a better job. And I thank her from my heart for this cover. Yes.
She sounds like an amazing person.
She is, yeah. She is. And, I don't think that Steve or I, either one, were expecting anyone to just pour themselves into something we were doing, So it was such a surprise. And it was such a surprise that when Lee Triana made the cover, it took Steve 3 days, I think, to figure out his name was spelled wrong because he was in love with the cover so much. So,
doesn't the whole experience make you humble?
It does. It does. And, we're doing this for our dad because this is what he did all his life. And to be able to feel that as, very heartwarming. Very heartwarming. So we grew up knowing all these stories and watching my dad do the research. So, it wasn't anything new. It just wasn't anything we told our friends about.
Okay.
You know.
That's awesome.
All right, Greg.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I got one last question for you before we end the show tonight. What is one thing that you would like to change in the paranormal field?
Ooh.
Wow. I would have to say that I think I would love to have everybody, no matter if they don't have the same beliefs or not, all be on the same page and treat everybody with mutual respect.
I love that answer.
I like that answer too. That's an amazing answer that, I'd love to see that happen as well. Be able to communicate with everybody and get along. And I think that's an amazing answer. And I know you've been in this field a lot longer than I have, and you're very well respected. And that's why I asked, because I'm always curious to find out what other people think about the field in general and what could change.
Every year we seem to have a separation.
Oh yeah.
We seem to have a void that can get bigger and bigger as the months go on.
Yeah.
And it's something that for myself, I'm more of a sensitive, and I have trouble handling that in the respect that I have to ask for additional help. Right. And I'm just saying through my my spirits, because and it's something that they shouldn't have to help us with.
Right.
Because we're all doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Right.
One of the things that I've said,
not everybody's not on the same page. Yeah.
One of the things that I've always said, and I've said it during numerous shows, if we would communicate together and actually swap information more often, we could be probably solving a lot of different issues because of the things we've all experienced, and we could put it all together to find that solution. And then we could be moving on to something new and going farther into it, because then there's no roadblock. We know what one piece of the puzzle would be, then we can move to the next phase. And when people start communicating and get along like that, it's hard. It makes it hard in this field.
Yeah.
There's always roadblocks.
Always.
And those roadblocks are the things that are out of bounds.
Yeah.
They should be.
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, whether you agree with the person sitting next to you or not, whether you believe them or not, has nothing to do with it.
Yep.
You should keep that to yourself. It's not to share, because it's not about destroying someone else's dignity, belief, or otherwise.
It's their beliefs, and then there's the person.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with people first.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's absolutely would be my answer if somebody asked me the same thing.
You gotta love it to death.
Like I said,
yeah.
I love the answer you gave, Greg. Where can they find you at if people want to find your show?
It's on Facebook and YouTube, and it's through Supernatural Inc. and Supernatural Inc. Design. There's 2 shows. There's a Wednesday night show, which is One Spirit Connect, and that's the ITC show. and that's at 9 o'clock, as well as the Friday show, which is Mariner of Spirit. And like we said, it's basically an interview show. Uh, I like some of the people that I can get on, and I think they're important people that a lot of people around here have never seen. And that's
Yeah.
at 9 o'clock also. And now that I'm off my sabbatical, I'll be back hitting it hard.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well,
Yes.
I hope maybe before the end of the year, maybe me and you can get together and have a team up and go out on an investigation, because I don't live that far from here, maybe a couple hours. And I think it'd be a good time for us to get together and do one and see what we find together.
Sure, that would be awesome. Thank you very much for asking.
Yeah. And I would like to thank you and thank you for your time for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate you coming on, and thanks for stopping in and talking with us.
It's been awesome, and thank you very much to Sean and Pam too. It's been a great show. Thank you very much.
A great show, and it was good to see you. Good to talk to you again.
Yes, it is. It's like old times.
I know.
Like I said,
mean, those were that was the fun times.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then all the other stuff happened.
Like I said, it was nice meeting you down at Broadhead, like I said, and hopefully before the end of the year we can get together and do something.
I wish we would have had a few extra minutes down there, but God, we were so crazy busy.
We'll make some time. I'll make a weekend and I'll make a John up your way. I'll get a hold of you and we'll definitely
do some together. We'll do some cemeteries.
Yeah, we'll go out to lunch and we'll go to a few cemeteries and see what we come up with, because I like doing cemeteries myself. So,
but there's a couple of good ones.
All righty, sounds like good. I'm going to drop you backstage here, Greg, and like I said, thank you for stopping in tonight.
Thank you, Greg. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Pam.
Sit backstage, and I'll get with you here as soon as we get the show closed out.
Okay.
That was Greg Koss. He's a really great guy.
Yeah, he is. Great show. That was a great show. Loved the conversation with him.
And I'm also going to throw this out one more time for American Demon Comics, Mr. Austin Light. Check out his work. He's got 3 great comics out. He does some amazing work. He was in the chat tonight. He actually sent me 3 copies here that's got signed autographs, and I greatly appreciate that. He's been on my show before, and we'll definitely have him on again in the future. But definitely check out American Demon Comics and Mr. Austin Light's work as well. So, Pam?
I just want to say congratulations to Demon Lights on your comic books. And I know that you'll be a great success. And thanks, Greg, for coming on and chatting with us. It was nice to talk to him after so long. And Sean, thanks for inviting me to be your co-host tonight.
Well, thank you for coming on, and had a great time with you guys, especially for the opening of season 1 or season 3 here. And we're going to finish out the rest of the year, and we're actually going to have pretty interesting last 3 shows that I've got scheduled with a group of people. And we're going to have a round table during those 3 sessions, and we're going to talk about a lot of things the last 3 shows of season 3.
That'll be interesting. Interesting.
I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. Austin said here real quick, people can get a digital issue, one at American Demon Comics.com and my free comic. There you go. Go check out Austin Light. So great author, great artist, does some great work for comics. And I'm going to drop you backstage here, Pam. Going to close out the show. I'm going to run one more ad.
Thank you, everyone, for stopping in.
Going to run one more ad here real quick. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in for the first season of season 3. And we will see you next week. We got a double header. I have Beth Allen and Don Vick from the Don Vick Show. It'll be 2 separate shows, one at 5:30 to 6:30 and one from 7 to 8. So we will have a double header next Sunday. So
all right.
We'll see you all next week, and we're going to close out with this. Everybody have a great weekend, and like I said, thanks for stopping in, guys.
Bye-bye.